What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmachi. Today we're going to be talking about Grand War Boss 1-2. Now, this boss is, this is a bit harder than 1-1. This boss will buff his strength buff, so you want to be able to kind of address that. What I've done on my team is, rather than removing the strength buff, because I've got something very special built in here to kind of counteract the strength buff. So, when he buffs his strength, basically he's doing himself a major disservice. She's going to come in, and she's going to get 150% for that strength buff. It's going to be pretty nice. It'll be a pretty respectable number. Not end of the world stuff. I would love for him to buff strength and magic, but, because then she'd get 300%, but the 150% will be really, really nice. So, instead of getting rid of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Winter Haruhime. This is the unit that just recently got a rerun. And what she's going to do is she's going to come in turn 1, do this skill, which will give us physical and magic resistance plus 40%. And that way we're not taking nearly as much damage. It'll be quite nice. The only downside is when Welf comes in, he's not going to have that. But Welf, I don't think is going to need it, if I'm totally honest. And it's 1 of 4, so hopefully when attacks happen, Welf really just doesn't get hit that hard. It is kind of one downside to my team, but I think he's going to be well off enough. I hope. So we'll see. But everybody else is going to have a phenomenal amount of physical resistance, and it's going to be quite nice. So this is pretty much the team we're going to take in here. Now, I will say this. If you do not have maximum broken units, that's fine. You can still clear this with the same methodology. It just might take you a turn or 2 extra. If yours are +2, +3, hopefully +4. +4, you might even be able to do this. But +3, you probably will take an extra turn and take an extra essay. That's fine. I'm going to do this in 9 turns, and I believe you have 20 turns to beat it. So, you can still follow the methodology. You just won't be able to get the S clear if you don't have them at least +4. Now, some old units on here, some new units on here, because I actually don't believe Bell and Welf were available at the time this ran last year. I say last year, over the summer. So, we might be able to beat this a little bit faster. We might actually, like, maybe be able to do a triple essay or something like that. I'll have to gauge based on his health at that time. But let's go ahead and jump in. And, of course, turn 1, as I said, Haruhime is going to do her physical resistance. It does physical and magic, but really all we care about is the physical resistance debuff. Then this Haruhime is going to do her 33% essay gauge charge. We're going to do that twice, as we kind of sort of always do. And then Bell is going to go ahead and do his skill 1, and so is Tiona. We're just going to kind of build up our buff stacks here. Now, this will be fun, because I don't think I've seen Tiona work, or at least put in work, with the 120% buff skill. Now, she's not at max, but it'll be fun and interesting nonetheless. So, we did Dawn Wind turn 1. I'm going to go ahead and do Blowing Wind, because we want to make sure that none of our buffs or debuffs... actually, we don't have any debuffs in play. So, because of that, I'm going to do Night Storm. Now, you're probably wondering why this Althea's on here. She's here because we don't have a good magic resistance debuff on here. So we're going to use her for the magic resistance 35%. That will expire in 3 turns, so we really need to make sure that next turn we are buffing those debuffs. But let's go ahead and keep going. Skill 2 with Bell. And Tiona's skill 2. She'll get 120% for each target's strength and magic buff skill. Remove strength and magic buffs. So she'll actually remove... She should remove his strength buff, which will be nice, and that'll help us take a little bit less damage. Let's see. She can do fire resistance down 35%. She also does magic resistance down 35%, but I don't think I'm going to need that. I think I'm going to stick with this. We can just do this skill just to get out some damage. I forgot that she does that. So really, Althea probably could have been anybody else, but I don't know who I would put in that spot. Being completely truthful, I really don't know who I'd put there. I suppose I could put Haruhime off on the back and put another... 33% essay gauge charge in the front and keep Welf in the front. Get a little bit more damage, but I don't think it's going to change the team composition enough to really matter. So, this skill is a bit of a redundancy, or I should say Althea's skill is a bit of a redundancy, because I forgot. I haven't used Tiona in a long time to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and remove that strength buff, and then we're just going to kind of spam that other attack. So let's go. So I believe hers is a slower attack. So strength buff is now gone. Bam. And I believe she's actually material killer, which actually would take him down. Yeah. So I forgot completely about that. So she's like a perfect fit. I haven't used Tiona in so long. I 100% forgot what she does. Minus her SA. I forgot about all of her other skills. And she's like absolutely spot on perfect for this. So if you have her, use her. She's amazing. Amazing. All right. So here comes Wealth, skill 1. Everybody else is pretty much going to move on to their skill 3. And we're going to go back and do Dawn Wind with Haruhime. Now, debuffs. Let's see. The guard rate debuff can be reapplied by Bell. So I'm not really worried about that. We will need to make sure that next turn... Yeah. We will need to make sure that next turn that we are rebuffing the magic resistance. And I realize only now in my build here, because once again, this is the first time I've done this, that Wealth isn't going to have the counter rate and all that stuff, but we can build that in here in a little bit. It's not the end of the world. I really honestly should have done Haruhime's skill 3 on turn 2. And then, ooh, strength and magic are buffed. Ooh, he does buff them both. Well, rip that. Bye-bye, Apollo. Let's see what kind of numbers she's going to get here. And since that's all been buffed, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Because, once again... Oh, he removed his debuffs. Oh, okay. Worth noting, and I completely forgot this was a thing, he does remove his debuffs, so we need to put those debuffs in place. So Tiona is literally made for this event. Literally made for this event. Sorry, guys. Like I said before, I haven't pre-run this match. As you have noticed, I'm really recording this between like the short few hours that we're at home between family houses. So, so my apologies if I made some mistakes here. But magic and fire resistance down 35% will be perfect. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with this because we need to get rid of those buffs to protect Wealth. Let's throw the guard rate debuff back on there. Actually, you know what? I'll see if we might be able to survive one turn. Actually, I think he's in SA, so we're going to go ahead and remove those. Because if he SAs and Wealth's just kind of hanging out there in no man's land, he's not going to feel too great. So we'll do Night Storm here. That'll buff Wealth. There we go. As I said, I've not pre-run this. And I haven't done this in, I don't know, 6 months, so I don't remember how all these go. Alright, and those buffs are removed. As I said, he's going to SA here, and his SA hits for like a percentage, so getting rid of that strength and magic buff is going to be paramount. Already didn't feel great, but imagine how that would feel with the strength and magic buff in play. So I digress. You need a strength and magic buff remover. You need to have them. So, once again, Tiona's perfect. She's made for this event. She's made for this event. Alright. And my apologies. I am literally relearning this event as we go through here. So, once again, mistakes will be made, but it is what it is. Alright. So, we're going to go back and do the guard rate buff. We're going to go ahead and do Blowing Wind. And everything should be pretty good here now. We're just basically going to do Blowing Wind on this turn. Next turn, we will probably have to do Dawn Wind again. Yep. That's fine. Haruhime is the only one I really care about with extra actions, to be totally honest here. Miss! Nice. Bam. And he's buffed his strength again. So we can get another big hit in here. Next time you have strength and magic, then we definitely are going to go to town on him. I'm not so worried about their extra actions, because their extra actions are AoEs. And, in fact, yeah. Mid-fire magic attack on foes. We'll just rebuff that with him. But with Wealth, I think it's actually more cost than it's worth to rebuff that, because this gets 40%. Bell, on the other hand, probably will get a little bit more, but Wealth with that 80% will just eviscerate this foe. And we'll have to buff Dawn Wind on this turn. Get rid of the Strength buff, which also hits like a truck. Lego. Boom. So one big takeaway here would be that Althea definitely is a bad fit for this team. Because the debuffs do go away, we need to be able to rebuff-ish those debuffs. So Tiona's really absolutely perfect for this. And that would probably be my one big change. All right. So hopefully, okay, so he's buffed strength again. Okay, strength and magic are buffed, and debuffs have been kind of taken away. I'm going to do something silly here. I'm going to go ahead and ignore Harahime's buff. Yeah, let's do a triple and just see what we can do here. Keeping Harahime in play like that. I don't know if this will be enough, but Tiona's going to hit like a truck anyway. This gives everybody 100% magic. I'm sorry, 100% fire damage. Wealth didn't hit so great. Bell's an AoE, but he's got a great debuff here. Okay, not quite a million. Tiona, she'll have like an immense debuff. Unfortunately, she won't have the strength buff. Ooh, 6 million. Yeah. So I think that was the right maneuver here. I would argue that was the right move. If we had the 120%, that'd be perfect. In fact, there's probably a way I could build that into the team. Now that I'm really kind of looking at the team composition and how to do this, I'm wondering if I built another 100% SA gauge charge into the team somewhere along the lines. If we probably could have had that. I'm going to fart around with that, see if we can get the turn 8 kill. But there's no question now that coming through here with all single targets is just going to eviscerate our opponent. Yeah, he's gone. So yeah, I'll stand by that decision. Like getting the 6 mil attack out of Tiona would be perfect. There you go, S clear. So if you have Tiona Max Limit broken, just she's absolutely like the absolute best for this event. Sorry, the run was a little dicey. I didn't have my team composition built right, but like I said, I'm literally making this in the short time that I'm home. So hopefully, guys, this helps you out. Once again, if I was going to fix this up, I would take Althea off. I would probably put Harahime on the back here, and I would put another 33% SA gauge charge, or even maybe 100% SA gauge charge somewhere in here and keep Harahime on the front. Just to try to get the quad on turn 8. There's a way to get quad on turn 8, and it's going to cost me a little bit, but I think it might be worth. So I'm going to fart around with that. It may be fun. Just to see what kind of numbers we get out. It's not going to change anything. We still got the S clear, though, so that's the video. If you can build anything remotely close to this, and you have Tiona, let me know in the comments section. That'd be awesome. Like, comment, share. I'll catch you guys in the next one.